This Icon podcast is hosted and sponsored by SphereRocket Virtual Assistants, a leading provider for your virtual assistants and outsourcing needs. Owned by one of the top-ranking EXP agents, Justin Nelson. SphereRocket VA provides a one-stop virtual staffing solution for business owners, and we specialize in helping business owners grow their business by leveraging through virtual assistants. Trusted by the top names in the real estate industry like Kyle Whistle, Andrew Franklin, John Kitchens, and many more. Get ready to up your success and we'll help you achieve your business goals. Book your free consultation at SphereRocketVA.com and find out how we can make your life easier.
Special shout out to our sponsor, SphereRocket VA, for making another episode of the Icon Podcast possible. I am your host, Jiana, and today we're going to get to know all about Lawrence.
Hey, Jiana, how you doing?
Doing good. Thank you so much for joining me today. And so let's talk about you, Lawrence. You know, where are you from? What market are you in now? And how did you end up in real estate?
Sure. Well, I'm born and raised in Mississauga, which is a suburb of Toronto. We're right next to it in Toronto, Canada. My background, I was an engineer. I did that for 4 years. I started a tech company out of high school. And I just continued with my tech company for about 10, 20 years. Then I was in the process of selling my tech company. And then I thought, well, if I have a bunch of money, what do I do with it? So I thought, well, I probably invest in real estate. And then so I might as well become a realtor. And then I've been starting that. Unfortunately, the sale of the business didn't go through. So I still run that on the side. But I've been doing real estate ever since, and it's been amazing.
Awesome. Cool journey coming from a pretty different industry background than most coming into real estate. That's cool. I like the switch up, and it seems like you're doing good. You're an Icon agent, and that's why you're here. That's what it's all about. So, you know, how did you find out about EXP? Was it your first brokerage, or did you switch brokerages to come over?
Yeah, so EXP, it wasn't my first choice. I actually never really heard of them. I started off with Remax. I figured, I might as well just go for brand recognition in my rookie year. So I started that. That's actually where I met my sponsor. He was a sales manager at the time there, and he was teaching me, a sales coach. And I was there for my first year. Then he moved to a second Remax, and I followed him to a second Remax. And then he moved to EXP, and he said, hey, you should come over here. And at the time, I said, you know what? I'm happy here. I'm just going to continue on. But after a couple of years, 2 to 3 years, I'm like, you know what? I think it makes sense for me to at least listen to what you have to say about EXP. I haven't really heard much about it. And so we got together, had a quick chat about it, and within a week, I was over here.
Yeah, and you don't know what you don't know. So good for you for listening and hearing about it. And, a lot of people say they wish they would have done it sooner.
Oh, 100%. I mean, if I had moved over to EXP a lot sooner, it would have been a lot better. But as it was, I figured, there wasn't really much risk to moving over at the time.
Yeah.
So it's like, I might as well move over and give it a try. I'm doing a lot of the things I do at EXP anyway, which was I was doing a lot of masterminds. I was helping to, recruit people to the company, that kind of stuff. And my family didn't really make much money off that. So now at least I have an opportunity to help agents and also helps my family at the same time.
Absolutely. What a great aspect to have on that. So, when you did jump over to EXP, you liked that. Okay, I was doing all the same things. They've got mastermind, they've got this, there's opportunity to kind of help all the aspects of my life that I care about. But what keeps you at EXP? Like, what do you really love about it? I know they've got options, revenue. Go ahead.
There's a whole bunch of different things at EXP, which I find really, really exciting. I mean, not only does it have a worldwide reach, but it just, the thing with EXP is it feels to me like it's just like a cruise ship. You're on a cruise and there's just like 100 things to do. And you're like, which one do I do? Do I go like Lido Deck? Do I go to the buffet? I don't know. But, at EXP, the same thing. There's continuously a lot of different sessions that are done by Icon, and a lot of masterminds, a lot of, the basic courses for people who don't know anything about real estate. There's a lot of that. There's a lot of manager support. You can do that. You can network with different people. Earlier last year, I helped a client get a place in Puerto Rico, and that was just, again, through the EXP connection. He was like, hey, I'm moving to Puerto Rico. And I'm like, okay, why don't they put you in touch with an agent there?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and then they had time and they figured it out and they finally got a place over there, and then I got a referral, and that was amazing, and that really helped because it was part of the EXP connection and the referrals in that way. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of things in EXP that I'm very excited about. Of course, there's the revenue share. There's the stocks, right? At the very least, with the stock payment, the stock employee purchasing plan kind of thing, it's pretty much like if you're working at a big tech company like Google or Microsoft. It's like you take a certain amount of your salary and then you can go buy stock at a discount. I mean, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah,
So
really.
definitely take use of that.
Yeah, use all the assets here on the cruise ship. There's lots to learn, lots to do, and all good things here. That's a great way of explaining it, Lawrence. Instead of drinking water from a fire hose, and overwhelmingness, there's just so much to do. You're excited about it.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, there really is so much to do. I mean, I think I've only touched the surface of it. I haven't really networked that much with the other agents in person because of COVID, obviously, but now, excited to go to the shareholders meeting in Florida this spring. That's going to be pretty fun, I hope. And then in Vegas again, in the fall, that should be a lot more fun. Hopefully I can meet a lot of agents that way. That type of networking really excites me. I really like talking to other agents. I've been doing it for many, many years now, just for fun. And now I can do it just, to try to increase my business and to get more clients and that kind of stuff.
Of course, awesome. Yeah, a win-win for everyone. So, Lawrence, you stay pretty busy and, you have a lot of protection because you're an icon agent. Yeah. So that being said, how do you take care of Lawrence? How do you avoid burnout mode? How do you, make sure that work life has a steady balance?
So that work-life balance isn't easy. Although if you take a look at my feeds and that kind of stuff, a lot of people probably think I'm just goofing off all day. They don't really see all the work in the background. They're like, oh, It looks like you don't do anything. Like, I work hard in the background, but the public face of it isn't just going to be continuously grinding. It's the public face of me, especially on social media. My main goal is that my audience doesn't unsubscribe from me. So it's always lighthearted. I try to keep away from religion, politics, all that kind of stuff. It's just fun jokes, picture of my kid kind of thing, me on vacation occasionally, interesting things I see in the open house, that kind of stuff. Just really lighthearted things, sometimes relate to real estate, a lot of times relate to myself and my personality, movies I'm watching, that kind of stuff. My main goal really is to have the people not unfollow me and not unsubscribe from me. And that way they're just sort of around and they see me doing things and hopefully eventually I get business.
And things that you enjoy too, things that are recharge to you. They get to know not only that, real estate side of you, but the Lawrence side of you. Because at the end of the day, people need to buy a house, but they really just want to buy it from you, who you are.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm also very passionate about just sales and marketing and real estate in general. So I find that helps. Even, when I started off, all I would do was talk to other agents about sales and marketing, getting clients and that kind of stuff, that type of mastermind. I started a group called the Real Estate Rookies on Facebook, and I've got more than 2,000 members. And that was started relatively early in my career. That was only my second year. Although the time when I started it, one of my sales coaches was like, what the heck are you doing? Go concentrate on work, that kind of stuff. Stop talking to other agents. And I'm like, the problem is that's the kind of stuff that I like to do. I like to just talk about real estate and talk about prospecting and clients and scripts and, different type of online lead generation. Like, it's just stuff I like to do on a daily basis. And so I figured that would translate well to EXP. Even when I started my Facebook group a long time ago, the main goal was really, eventually I might start a brokerage or maybe I'll start a team. I don't really know. But I just like giving back. It's just like an educational teacher kind of, I guess, philosophy. I just like teaching people. It's just one of the things I like to do.
That's great, and some of the icons that I've talked to, one in specific, he said, at EXP, you learn, you earn, and then you return. So you like talking about it and you love, making the connections and, bringing up real estate. That's okay, because if you like what you do, you don't work a day in your life, right?
Yeah, that's the way I see it. So although, in terms of burnout and that kind of stuff, work-life balance, I do spend a lot of time with my family on the side, but I try to structure it a lot so that I work a bit and I play a bit. And then, I do both. I am, pretty much always on my phone or checking emails. That's just, I guess, a fact of life as a realtor, at least for me right now, until I can, offload that. But who knows when that will be. I also like to volunteer a lot. I'm on a lot of committees and boards and that kind of stuff. Recently, I've been appointed to the Canadian Agent Advisory Council. So we've only been there for, I guess, only 2 meetings. I have no idea what it's about yet, but it sounds very interesting. Yeah. So in Canada, a board of 16 agents right now that you have to apply for, get nominated, and then they select you, that kind of stuff. And so the goal is just to promote the culture of EXP, whether it's through technology or through attraction or through coaching or whatever the different various committees that we have are. Those committees do different things. I believe they also help with getting a charity on board. I think it was a Make-A-Wish or whatever, so that they could donate to charity through EXP. And so that process, we were pivotal in that. So I'm very excited about what this committee is going to do or what this council is going to do, and hopefully we can improve EXP.
Me too, Lawrence. That's really cool. Congratulations on being appointed to that.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
So, I told you we don't talk a lot about numbers on here because we don't. And frankly, numbers are gibberish to me because they're so versatile, I guess if the word is. They vary in value depending on what market you're in. But I do want to know, what the Icon Award is to you because, you had to get a certain amount of production.
Right.
You had to sell a certain amount of houses to get there. So can you kind of talk about your production journey to get there and, what the Icon Award means to you, maybe the benefits that came with it?
Yeah. So, basically I've only been at EXP for 1 year. So my first year I got Icon here. Although,
congratulations, that's cool.
Thank you. I was probably on pace to do similar production in previous brokerage, but depends on how things are accounted for. To get Icon in Canada, it is $500,000 in commission, or after you cap 20 full transactions. So somewhere around there, that's
Canadian dollars, right?
Huh?
And Canadian currency?
Yes, that would be Canadian dollars. Yeah,
okay.
So that's the rough production rate. And so, at the very least, all the people who hit Icon have hit a certain amount of achievement that they probably are not beginners, and they probably know a little bit of what they're doing.
Yeah, absolutely. And you said as a beginner, you're probably not going to Icon, but for the newbies out there, maybe they're new to EXP, maybe they're new to realty in general. Is an Icon Award something they should strive for in their first year, or what's some other, I guess, landmarks that they can shoot for to kind of aspire for the Icon Award later? What's some advice for the new people?
For me, the main goal is just trying to hit Icon in my first year, just to see that I could do it, kind of thing. For whenever I do a lot of training for a lot of rookies and the different masterminds and seminars I do, the main thing I want to instill in everyone who's starting out in real estate is that this is a lifelong journey. When you're talking about transactions specifically, what do I do about this particular transaction? My main opinion about that is that this transaction doesn't matter. You're going to be in real estate for the next 20, 30, 40 years. What you do today doesn't really matter. If you're really, really dealing with a client that's really, really cheap, hypothetically, they want a low commission, whatever it is, it's the mindset of that particular client isn't going to give you a bunch of referrals. And if they do, they're probably going to want some type of kickback. They're not really going to help you with your business. It's just their mindset. What you want to do is attract people that are the same, attract your tribe, the people who think like you, the people who want to help each other. Those are the people that you want to attract. So don't worry about the one transaction. Worry about the marathon. It's not a sprint. It's like a 20, 30, 40-year plan. So similarly, try to be ethical. If you screw over an agent today, they're still around 20, 30, 40 years from now. It's not a good idea. So everything I do is all about the long term, the really long term, which is why EXP I thought was amazing. The way I explained to a lot of people is that I'm doing exactly what I was doing at Remax. Exactly what I'm doing. I made quite a bit more moving over here just because of that. But ignoring that, we also have the benefits of the stock. You have the benefits of, the stock bonuses as well as the stock purchasing. So I got stock as Icon, right? $16,000 just because I hit a certain amount. And because of that, as Icons, we get to teach back and bring back to the community. We get to either teach courses or helping coaches, all that kind of stuff.
Lawrence, what road of that are you taking?
So right now I'm doing the coaching route. So I'm helping as being a one-on-one coach to the people who are in the boot camp. So in Canada, different than the mentorship in Canada, we just have so many people coming in that we actually have to do more of a boot camp. It's a 12-week boot camp, mandatory, that you have to take. And then every week it sort of keeps cycling, and then you go through the different topics. So right now I'm mirroring that by just also doing that on a weekly basis, and then doing that with the people that I'm coaching. And they come in and I just talk about whatever the topic is of the day.
Cool. That's awesome. So, you know, the newbies, it's something you can strive for, but lean into your resources, lean into your coaches. If you don't get it, that's okay. But, you know, you're on a cruise ship. There's other stuff to strive for here.
If you don't like to go Lido deck and you don't like to, you know, do the line dancing, then maybe you can go down to the casino or you go to the bar. Like, I don't know.
Oh, you can eat buffet.
Go to the all you can eat buffet. That's always a good one. Or stay in your stateroom all day. You know, I'm not like a cruise director, but you know, whatever it is. Like, there's so many things to do here. You sort of pick what you want to do. Or if you want to be a lone wolf and you want to do your own thing, that's great too. If you want to, you know, use KV Core and just get a whole bunch of online leads, that's great too. So just talking more about, I guess, you know, again, this is more about icons, but I'm very passionate about just teaching rookies what to do because I see the same questions in my real estate rookie group, and I see the same questions whenever rookies come up, and they always ask the same thing, right? They always ask, like, where do I get the leads from and that kind of stuff. And although you could get leads through KV Core, for a lot of people, I feel that it's not just about getting the lead, right? A lot of it's about lead nurturing. Like, there's two parts of it. One is the top of the funnel where the lead comes in and now they know about you. But after that, it's more about the lead nurturing. It's a follow-up. It's just talking to them, you know, every week or every month until they're ready to buy or sell. Like, that process is more important because if you are door knocking or cold calling, it's very rare that the person you talk to says, oh, I was just waiting for someone to call me and you are it and I'm happy to sell my house. Like, it's very rare. You need to know how to talk to them and nurture them over the few weeks or months that it takes. And, you know, recently I've seen a couple of people post about how much, you know, does it cost to do online lead generation for either Google PPC or Facebook or KV Core or whatever it is. And my opinion of that is, at least in Toronto, it's pretty expensive. We're talking about maybe $10 to $20 per lead. And it's a lot cheaper to go for the free leads. And the free leads are the ones that come into your open house, the ones that you just go door knock, the ones that you go cold call. These are all free. And then you package your script. Because when they go ask you, like, how long have you been in business? And you're like, I don't know, right? And you don't know how to answer that. It kind of sucks that you pay $20 to somebody to answer in a very poor way. But if you just keep practice talking and that kind of stuff, you have a much better way of your scripts and a much better way of portraying yourself so that, you know, they'll give you the business.
Absolutely. You know, that's a good point too. You know, you want to invest in yourself, you want to invest in your branding, but, you know, even though you're part of EXP, you don't have to have EXP blah, 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 in big letters. You know, you're still yourself, and that scalability is brought to you by EXP to be able to get out to those people, to be able to grow your brand, and to be able to be your best self to your client. You know, I think it's really cool. I think it's one of the best aspects about this brokerage.
I mean, even again, when you're starting out, it's like, if it is a marathon, right, 20, 30, 40 years, does it make sense to spend all your money at the first year or two and tool up and get good, build a good foundation, and then worry about it? Or is it just, you just sort of muck around for the first couple of years and you don't really get a mentor, you don't really get a coach, you don't really know what you're doing, you don't learn about KV Core, you don't read up how to do any scripts, you don't read how to do your contracts, and then like after year 4 or 5, that's when you decide that you want to do it all? Like, it makes sense in my mind that you just invest in yourself at the beginning. Right. And then now you have a solid foundation, and then I can move forward for the next 20, 30, 40 years of your life. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint.
It is. And you're absolutely right. And, you know, the first step to taking a journey of 1,000 miles is literally that first step.
It is definitely that first step. I mean, for the people that are curious, you know, my first year, I did $19,000, which is not a lot. It was like 2 or 3 deals or whatever like that. But, you know, you keep working your first year. I did a lot of cold calls, a lot of door knocking, a lot of open houses, a lot of networking. I did a lot of stuff, and eventually it paid off. Mm-hmm. For the first year, I didn't think about just trying to get a deal. Like, even my very first listing that I got, my mindset in my farm was just to go around, knock, and if I get something great, if I don't care. I'm just practicing. And it turns out eventually I did get my first listing in my farm, and my farm's pretty competitive, but I got my first listing, and you know, they never asked me, how many years have I been doing this? They just sort of gave it to me.
Wow. Look at that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
They just trusted you, trusted the process, and we love that.
Yeah, no, thank you very much. I have a very tough farm. We live in a pretty good neighborhood in Mississauga next to Toronto. And like, when I door knock, about 10% of them are realtors or relate to realtors. Like, because I talk to them, I door knock, like, how are you doing? I say, oh, you're a realtor. Okay. I go to the next one, like, hey, how are you doing? I'm a realtor. Okay. You go to the next one, right? It's like literally 10% of the people that I door knock in the farm were realtors, or no, my brother's a realtor, or whatever. Or we have
My goldfish is a realtor. Sorry.
Pretty much, it was bad. When I go to school, for instance, for the parents in my kids' classroom are realtors. When I invite them over to play date, they came over with a realtor T-shirt on and tell them, like, I'm a realtor as well. I'm like, oh, okay, I didn't, just kind of, they're
awkward.
Yeah, a little bit awkward. I mean, they're advertising their team, whatever, put it on their kid and put them in the play date. And I'm like, I mean, I'm happy for you, but I'm also a realtor. So it's a competitive farm, like really competitive. When I went to school here, 2 or 3 of the people who were the kids of realtors who are now the main realtors in the farm, right? So just very, very competitive is all I can say.
Absolutely. But look at you. You're still, top couple percent of best performing realtors at EXP. So you're holding your own over there, Lawrence, and we love to see that.
Yeah, no, thank you very much. I'm happy to be here and happy to give back. Right? I'm again very excited to see how the Canadian Council is going to go out. I also volunteer a lot in the Toronto Real Estate Board. So people are curious about that, but you have to apply to volunteer for that. So I was lucky enough in my second year that I was able to make it to the Toronto Real Estate MLS committee. And that's really competitive. There's I think 200 or 300 agents that try to apply for that. So I was able to get in. Some of it's networking. You have to really know people, but you just talk. And also, I mean, the things I talk about and my background, I'm in a tech background, so I'm sure that helps as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Lawrence, you said you didn't start with EXP, right? Were you ever skeptical of it? Were you ever like, oh, I'm not going to drink that EXP Kool-Aid?
Honestly, the first time I heard about it, I just brushed it off like one of 100 other brokerages. Just, hey, want to come over here? Not really. When I learned about it, specifically, when I called up my current sponsor and I said, I only have one sponsor, but my sponsor, when I went to go have lunch with them, I said, tell me about EXP. After that 3-hour lunch, I couldn't sleep for literally the whole week. My mind was on fire. Just so much to do that after that week, I put in my letter of resignation. I'm like, I have to go. There was no doubt in my mind. I talked with a lot of my good friends who are not in real estate, but I mastermind with other people for business and other things out of real estate, old friends for the last couple decades. And all of them just said there is no disadvantage in moving over to EXP right now. Zero. Because your previous brokerage is going to welcome you back with open arms, and maybe you're going to get a cheaper split. There's no reason why you shouldn't move over now, see if it works, try it for a year, and if it doesn't work, come back. They're like, I'm not buying and selling my house with you because you're at a certain brand. I'm buying my selling house with you because I trust you. I know, like, and trust you, and I know you can do a good job. That's the reason why I'm dealing with you. So whether you're with whatever color of different brokerage that you're at, a different brand, it doesn't matter to me. So why don't you try EXP? See if it works, right? See if you can attract people, see if the stock thing's okay. If it tanks, maybe you leave, whatever it is. And if it works, great. And if it doesn't, no problem. Just go back. No harm, no foul.
Right. No, you're 100% right. You got to make that jump. You got to try it out. There are so many things that EXP invests into their realtors here. The thing is that they want to buy. People don't even. I personally, before I started this podcast, I was like, "What's a brokerage? What's the difference?" I thought they were real estate offices. I don't understand. And people really don't know. They really don't like. It's not their field. You don't look to start buying a house when you're going to school and 18 and 15 and sometimes not even up till 30s. Who knows? But there's no reason for people to research it really until they are in the market for it. So they're not buying you. They're not buying your brokerage. They're buying Lawrence. They're looking at
sure. And then,
best experience.
And even when I'm attracting people over to EXP, when I try to explain the model, there's a lot of agents that actually don't explain it very well. Let's just say that sometimes I'm like the second or third agent that explained it, and they're like, I have to move over. And sometimes there's I have to move over, and then they decide to pick another sponsor, and that happens. Yeah. But a lot of times when I explain what the value proposition is for EXP, what are all the advantages, what are the disadvantages, most of them see it. The few that don't usually have some type of mental block, and honestly, you cannot get past that. It's like trying to sell a house, with the person that wants to sell it by themselves, and now they're saying, hey, give me the lowest commission, and really, I don't know what the value is for agents, and I'll just sell it myself. Yeah. And then you're like, you know what, thank you, but I don't know if we're a good fit, right? And sometimes agents just aren't ready. Maybe they are very happy with their brokerage, but if you keep talking with them, occasionally, maybe they won't be happy. And then like, you know what, maybe I'll have a talk with Lawrence and just see what EXP is about. Maybe it's for me, maybe it's not. But honestly, if you do not listen to what anyone has to say about EXP, as in if you don't learn what you're rejecting, I don't know how you could logically reject it. Right. It doesn't make sense to me from a logical point of view. It's like, hey, you should go, eat kumquats or something. You're like, nah, they're horrible. And you're like, well, you haven't tried one. You don't know the medicinal values of it or whatever. Whatever it is. Or
it's almost like they've got their fingers in there, like, la, 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 la.
Yeah, la, 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 la. I don't want to hear it. No good, whatever. And you're like, have you tried a cleanse or whatever it is? I don't know. But I'm just saying. So similarly with EXP, there are some that totally have a block. Now, oftentimes because there are certain EXP agents that are rather aggressive, and I have been told that when I talk to some people, they're just like, I don't know about that guy or that gal. Like, they're really aggressive. Like, can you tell them to stop? And I'm like, I can't stop them. Like, I can't do anything. All I could do is portray me as what I am. Like, they do not represent EXP. They represent their own brand. And all I can do is represent how I feel about the company and how I feel about doing real estate and how I feel about dealing with other agents. But some people just aren't ready, and that's okay. But there are some that are ready. And when they are ready, then I'm happy to talk with them. There's some that sort of are curious about it. So, sometimes I have broker managers call me and we have a chat, right? Just to like, I don't understand. Like, why am I losing so many agents to you? And if I got to be honest, I'm not telling them everything. I tell them some stuff, just get them to understand.
Yeah. I get it.
I mean, if I told them my complete pitch, they'd be like, maybe I should come over to EXP and become a broker manager here, right? Which they maybe want to, but maybe they can't. Like, I don't really know what the purpose is, for them. But yeah, those people do ask me occasionally about what is EXP. And I've had maybe 3 or 4 conversations now with people that wanted to start their own brokerage. And I'm like, well, you can go to EXP. My feeling about EXP is that it shortcutted my ability to start a brokerage by about 10 years. I mean, that's been always a dream of mine, start a team, start a brokerage, that kind of stuff. And if I'm starting like a brokerage, the amount of things that I need to do to start a brokerage, which includes getting the technology ready, all like the trust accounts, all the administration, all that infrastructure, it takes some time. It's not that I can't do it. But if it's already set up, I can just, in theory, just start attracting people now that like my philosophy and want to make more money through me and like to make more money through EXP. And I already have the brand and other networking things to fall back on. And that kind of stuff I feel is very, very good in terms of just, I'm very happy about that. That's all.
Yeah, no, as you should be. And that's, you've accomplished a lot over here at EXP, and you've only got the whole cruise left to go, lots to do, lots to learn.
It's only like the first day of the cruise, right? It's like a 3-month cruise or something across the Mediterranean, down the Caribbean, or wherever the heck it's going. Like, it's a pretty long cruise, right?
Yeah, you are not short on time here. It's going to be, there's going to be a lot to follow coming up with you, Lawrence, with your volunteering and the boards you're on, and the level of production you're achieving. So congratulations on all of that. I really look forward to following your adventures over the next couple months, and I'll be hunting you down at Shareholders and EXP Con to get connected, of course. And is there anything else you want to touch on? I've asked you all my questions. It's been a pretty solid, almost 30-minute podcast.
Let's take a quick look at my quick few notes. Not really. I mean, in general, real estate is an amazing business. So for the people who are just starting out, it's like, it's a very, very good industry, right? Being in other industries, the amount of time it takes one to spend a 4-year degree and that kind of stuff, and for the amount of money you make starting out compared with here, it's night and day. Like, you might as well try to give it a go. But when I mean give it a go, it's like actually give it a go and try, as opposed to just like whatever comes. But you know what? Real estate is like a sales type of business. Like, you have to actually go after your business. If you just sit there and wait, it's difficult for you to get the business. So that's okay. But real estate, I highly encourage everyone to get in it. If you have any questions about Toronto or Mississauga, always give me a call. I'm always happy to answer that.
Absolutely. Well put, Lawrence. Well, thank you so much for joining me today. And if you're ever wanting to do a spin-off podcast, you know who to call.
I would love that. Thank you very much, Jiana. I appreciate it.
Of course. Have a wonderful day.
All right. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.